Dahil sa hirap na buhay ngayong pandemya, mas mabuting mag-tech ka muna. Pero teka muna, sandali, bago kayo mag-click, mag-like, o mag-share, dapat parating may extra care. Ako po si Mon Desperto, ang inyong tech tito. Welcome na naman sa isa pang bagong episode ng ating programang Tech Ka Muna. Maganda po ang programa natin ngayong gabi kahit na medyo mainit nitong araw na ito. Hindi ba kayo nainitan? Diyos ko po. Anyway, it's summer after all, pero parapit na ang rainy season. So bantayan po natin 'yan. Pero bukas po, 'yan ang unang-unang kailangan natin asikasuhin ay Mother's Day. Ako, yan po ang isang napaka-importanteng araw. Ito ang pagkakataon natin magpasalamat sa pinaka-importanting tao sa buhay natin lahat, ang ating mga nanay, hindi ba? Sila po, ang mga nanay, ang nagbibigay po ng liwanag at ligaya sa ating mga pamilya. Di ba? Pero tama din, naniniwala ko doon sa sinabi ng isang kaibigan ko si Bebet Ortesa sa kanyang post. Sabi naman niya na kailangan din pasalamatan at bigyan pugay, bigyan kilalin din po ang mga tatay na tumutulong sa mga nanay. Di ba? Marunong na rin sila, natuto na silang magluto, maglaba, no, maglinis ng bahay at mag-alaga ng mga bata. So yan ang maganda, tulungan. Nanay at saka tatay, tinutulungan sila. Okay? Kaya yun po, ang magiging programa natin ngayon, Mother's Day, kasi ang mga guests natin ngayong gabi ay mga mommy. Ang mga mommy na gumagamit ng iba't ibang mga tech solutions at tech services para tulungan ang kanilang mga pamilya. Okay? So, nakakatuwa itong usapan natin ngayong gabi. Dumiretso na po tayo sa ating unang guests, no? At siya po ay mga 4 na taon yata, nagvo-vlog. At ang kanyang vlog ay anong tawag nito? Ang pangalan ay Mommy Diaries. Okay? So talagang maliwanag kung ano ang paksang pag-uusapan natin. At siya po, let's welcome her on the program, si Mommy Shara Magallanes. Good evening, Shara.
Good evening, Sir Mon! Thank you po. Thank you. Good evening. And I am excited po to be a guest in your show. Grabe. Sobrang excited po ako. Sobrang saya ko.
Okay, well, nasasaya din kami. Sayang-saya kami na nakasama kami. You took time for us tonight, no? Sa Saturday evening. At kasi sigurado bukas busy kayo. Pero hindi kayo dapat ang magtatrabaho, hindi ba? Anyway, sige, pag-usapan natin yan. Okay? Dali. 4 na taon ka nang nagba-vlogger. Mommy's Diaries nga. Paano ka pumasok doon? Bakit mo naisip na gumawa ng ganyang klaseng vlog na tungkol sa pagiging mommy?
Yes, Sir Mon. Actually po, kasi I worked before sa corporate. Now, after nun, nag-isip po kami ng negosyo ng husband ko. Nung mag-boyfriend pa lang kami, so nagtinda-tinda kami sa palengke, ganyan. Yun po yun yung simula ng aming journey. Now, nung nanganak ako, sabi ko, ang sarap maging nanay. Sabi ko, i-record ko to. Gumawa po ako ng website. So, website siya nagsimula, Sir Mon. Hindi pa siya muna
okay.
Opo. And then, 2018, sabi ng husband ko, mag-vlog ka din kasi mas maganda na video yung mapapanood namin, yung babalik-balikan namin yung mga moments na pangyayari na, mga moments po na journey namin bilang mga magulang. Yun po.
Ito nga. Kung kita nga natin, ito. Kasama mo yung anak mo, si Olivia, di ba?
Yes, opo. Ano po yan? 2020 naman po iyan nangyari. Ay, 2019.
Ilang taon na ba si Olivia ngayon?
Ngayon po, sir, magpa-5 na siya next month. Pero nung shoot po namin yan, 3 po siya niyan.
Oh, okay. Hindi, pag-usapan natin mamaya yung video niyo kasi nakakatuwa yung mga usap-usapan yung mga mag-ina. Pero kumbaga hindi lang ito project mo, hindi ba? Yung asawa mo si Vlad kasama din dito sa usapan na to, di ba?
Yes, opo, Sir Mon. Actually po, siya yung brains. Siya ang nag-iisip ng concept, kung ano bang gagawin namin, mga isushoot, ganyan. And siya rin po yung director ko na sabi niya, ganto mo atakihin yung vlog mo na yan. Ganito yung gusto kong angle dyan. Ganun po. So, mainly po siya yung face. Minsan po siya lumalabas sa vlogs, but sa back of the camera, siya po halos lahat ang kumikilos.
Oh, sabi ko na nga ba, Shara, yung mga tatay, meron tayong silbi, hindi ba?
Actually, kanina sermon yung sinabi niyo po kanina na ang tatay, dapat may recognition ngayong Mother's Day. That's very true kasi ako po hindi ako naglalaba. Ang asawa ko ang naglalaba.
Kaya ko rin yun. Anyway, sige. Pero anong naging reaction ng pamilya mo? No? Kasi, I understand, kayo magkakamag-anak, you live in a compound, so nakikita nila na, pumasok ka sa nagbo-vlogging ka tungkol sa pamilya mo. Anong reaction nila nung nakita niyong ginagawa mo yun?
Actually, Sermon, sila po talaga ang unang fans ng Mommy Diaries PH. Dati, Sermon, ang videos namin, umaabot lang yan ng 50, pero sila lang din yung nanonood. Doon po. Yeah. Very supportive po sila.
Sige. Tignan natin yung ginagawa mo mga vlog sa Shara, no? Paano mo, o ninyo, kasi teamwork pala to, no? Paano nyo napag-iisipan, sige, ito yung mga topics o mga paksa na isushoot natin ngayon, no? How does that go?
Actually, iba po doon ang inspiration po namin madalas ay yung mga araw-araw na na-experience namin. Like, yung mga natututunan po namin, halimbawa, mag-tantrums yung anak ko. Tapos, ma-figure out namin, ay, ganito pala yung perfect na, or ganito pala yung paraan para mas mapakalma siya, para mas ma-handle niya yung feelings niya, ganyan. Pero, hindi rin po kami na, minsan po parang, may time na magbablank kami, parang makakalimot ako kung ano bang gagawin ko na video. Tapos, after ilang days, parang may mangyayari na naman pong something sa amin na yun yung i-shoot ko po ulit. And,
pag-usapan nga natin sandali yan. Itong video na nakikita natin ngayon, no? Ito is yung sinabi mo kaninang tantrums, no?
Yan, okay.
Ito ba yung hini-rehearse mo? O kumbaga, live ito? Yung kasama na yung halik na yun. No?
Live po yan, sermon.
Ibig sabihin, wala siyang rehearsal. No? Kung may nangyari, kakausapin mo anong tawag niya kay Olivia?
Olivia? Opo.
Buong pangalan. Sige. So, sinushoot nyo na ng ganun? Walang script yan. So, paano yun? Anong interaction ninyo?
Bali po yan. Yung camera na yan, kasi actual na pangyayari po yan. So, ang simula po yan is nagtatantrum siya. Ngayon, sabi ko sa husband, kukuhanan mo para ma-record natin at saka baka makatulong sa mga kapwa natin nanay na baka itong paraan na ito maging effective din para matulungan yung mga anak nila na ma-handle yung pagtatantrums. So, 2 years old pa po ata si Olivia niyan So, ayan, shoot po namin actual yan. Hindi alam nung anak ko or hindi niya ata nakikita na may camera. So, yung pakikipag-usap po sa kanya dyan is live talaga. Meron din po kami sermon na parang hidden camera experiment. So, dun po naman gusto kong makita yung emotional quotient ng anak namin. Kung gaano ba siya ka-honest, gaano ba siya ka-concerned sa kapwa.
Nakita ko yun. Yung may parang tinetesting nyo kung gaano ka honest siya. Kung sasabihin niya yung totoo. Paano niyo naisip yung ganong eksena? Talaga bang kinakaharap niyo yung mga ganyang klaseng karanasan sa araw-araw na buhay niyo bilang isang pamilya?
Actually, sermon, kasi syempre po tayo bilang mga magulang, gusto natin na mapalaki ng tama yung ating mga anak, diba? Kayo po, even with your grandkids, diba? Syempre, talagang gusto natin na lumaki silang mabuting tao. So, talaga pong binavalue namin yung kindness, yung honesty, yung all about emotions po, all about social SQ, social quotient din. So yun po talagang parte ho yun ng pagpapalaki namin sa kanya. So one time, sabi ko, i-testing kaya natin kung anong gagawin niya. So may camera po kami nakatago and nagulat po kami. Actually, sermon, kami rin po at the end of that vlog, natuto kami na ay ganito pala yung anak namin. Ganito pala yung gagawin niya sa ganitong pangyayari.
Nakita ko yung video na yun. Diyos ko, mataray pala yung anak mo. Ewan ko lang, kung mapapakita natin yung video ngayon yun. Pero parang ang tinesting niyo yung bata kung magsasabi siya ng totoo, di ba?
Opo, opo. Tama po kayo doon.
Oh.
Ano ba yung nangyari doon? Kasi may 2 tests po doon magkaibang pangyayari. So yung pangalawang pangyayari po, yung honesty test number 2 is, nag-iwan ako ng pera na sinabi ko sa kanya, pag may kumuha nito, sasabihin mo sa akin. Ngayon yung daddy niya, gustong kuhanin. Pinipigilan ni Olivia ngayon yung daddy niya. Tapos pagkabalik ko, sabi ko, anong nangyari? Sabi ni Olivia, sinubukan ni daddy kuhanin yung pera. So yun po, at least very honest siya na kung ano yung tama, alam niya na yun yung tama. Kung mali, alam niya po na yun yung mali. Kasi yun yung gusto po namin i-instill din sa kanya. And yun po isa sa advocacies namin na turuan at kailangan mapalaki natin yung mga anak natin na mabuting tao. Kasi di ba, we want to have a kinder world sermon para sa next generation. Kasi sila rin naman ang magsosow nito paglaki nila, di ba?
Sandali. Shara, anong sinabi niya sa tatay niya? O, sige nga. Ano ba yun? Basta wag mo kunin yung pera, ganun ba yun?
Opo, basta sabi niya, stop! Mommy is just buying something. Parang gano'n. Siguro po yun lang maisip niya sabihin. Kasi sabi ko po, alis daw po ako kunyari may bibili na ako sa tindahan. So pinigil niya, stop! Mommy is just buying something.
So, anong insights na nakukuha mo, Shara? No? Kasi ito, this just happens, no? Nangyayari. So, meron kang, minsan, in-stage ninyo. Pero yung sinasabi mo, ibang itong mga nakikita namin sa video is something that just happens. Ano nakikita mong insight dun sa bata? Based on sa experience mo rito. 4 na taon mo nang ginagawa ito. Oh.
Nakakatuwa po, Sermon, na yung mga learnings na kami po mismo, natututo kami sa anak namin na ganito pala yung gagawin niya. Meron din po kami, Sermon, na kindness test. Na tingnan namin kung may concern ba talaga siya sa kapwa. So, dumating dun kunyari yung lola niya. Sabi lang ng lola niya, Olivia, ang sakit ng tiyan ko. Kumakain po si Olivia nun. Hidden camera rin po ito, Sermon, ha? Hindi nang hingi ng pagkain yung lola niya. Ang sabi lang ng lola niya, masakit yung tiyan niya. Binigyan ng anak ko po ng pagkain yung lola niya. So, parang nakaka-touch kasi ganun talaga kabuti yung puso ng mga bata. Talagang very innocent and very kind po talaga ang mga bata.
Ay, nako, mukhang mukhang matindi yung anak mong lumalaking yan. Ilang taon na ba siya ngayon?
Magpa-5 po, Sermon, next month. Actually, minsan po, iniisip ko rin kung tama ba kami sa pagpapalaki. Pero every night po, we are asking God for guidance na mapalaki namin siya ng tama.
Pero, okay, what in your academic training or your past experience prepared you for doing something like this? No? Kasi hindi biro itong ginagawa niyong video na ito, no? Kumbaga may child psychology ito, nag-aral ka pa ng psychology o saan mo nakuha ito? Oh.
Yes, actually, Sermon, I get that question a lot po na tinatanong kung halimbawa ako ba ay teacher or graduate pa ako ng education or a degree in psychology. Pero ako po parang nag-share lamang ng experience ko bilang nanay ko, ano yung nakikita ko sa anak namin. Basta we make sure po na kung ano yung gagawin namin, hindi makaka-harm sa pag-develop ng kanyang utak or sa emotions niya. Kasi what we do lang naman po is parang we shoot a day-to-day situation na yung mga maaaring mangyari sa pang-araw-araw or in the future, basta alam lang po namin na hindi ito ikakapahamak niya or hindi mag-iiba yung outlook niya in life. Yan po. And kagaya po ng nasabi ko, minsan po parang iniisip ko kung tama ba ako. Kasi syempre, we don't know it all naman. Di ba, Sermon, parang kahit anong libro ata basahin ko, I read a lot of books, Sermon, about parenting and all.
Okay.
Pero hindi po lahat talaga nakukuhanan ko. Syempre, parang mamimili ka po doon alin ba dito applicable sa akin, alin ba dito applicable sa anak ko. Di ba po, parang you still have to weigh everything. Parang wala talagang formula that fits all.
Pero let's take a few examples, Sharon. I think we have some video that we would share with the audience, no? Halimbawa, meron kayong isang video na ginawa tungkol sa ang paksa is anong tawag nito? Baka mawala yung imagination ng mga bata, no? Ito yung tungkol sa yung ito yan, no?
Yes. Actually po, ako kasi, lumaki po ako ng parang, laki ako sa no. So parang hindi ko masyado po na-explore ang creativity ko. Ngayon, ako, nung naging nanay na ako, mano din ako, sermon. Ngayon, sabi ng husband ko, bakit ka mano? Mapipigilan mo yung imagination, creativity ng bata. Hindi niya may enjoy yung childhood niya. Minsan lang siya bata, di ba? Kasi po, kids learn best through play and sa pag-explore, pag-experiment. Ayan, mga nag-i-imagine po siya ng ganyan. So yun, sabi ko, oh nga.
Ay, hindi. Kasi ang mga nanay, kahit mga tatay minsan, naku, nagkakalat na naman itong mga batang ito. Di ba?
Opo. Yun nga
So,
po.
no. Wag mong gawin yan. Ganun ba? So, anong punto mo doon sa video na yan? Anong gusto mong mensahe na gusto sabihin doon sa mga, ipakita sa mga, sa mga mommies at saka mga daddies na rin? Dapat hindi no at no, ganon.
Opo, wag talagang no at no kasi doon nga po natin maaaring ma-hinder yung pag-develop ng creativity and imagination ng bata. Kasi sermon, kagaya po na nabanggit ko kanina, sanay ako sa no. So, yung creativity and imagination ko parang limited. Unlike sa husband ko na parang nakapaglaro siya, na-enjoy niya yung childhood niya. He's an artist po kasi. So, parang talagang naano niya yung creativity niya. Now, nung sinabi nga po sa akin ng husband ko yun, parang I observe na, oo nga, tama nga. So, to all moms and dads po, hayaan lang natin mag-enjoy ang mga bata. Kagaya nga po nang nasabi, a messy home is a happy home, pero turuan ng mga bata na magligpit pagkatapos.
Pero, ibig sabihin, hayaan mo muna yung mga bata na, kumbaga, kumuha ng iba't ibang mga gamit, kasi yung doon siguro na-nervous yung mga magulang, baka masira yan, o mabasag, o kakalat. Pero meron palang ganung panganib na pwede mangyari na kung masyado mong ginaganon yung bata, mapipigil yung paglawak na kanyang imagination.
Opo.
Inisip ko ngayon tuloy, yun ang maliit ako. Anyway, sige.
Kasi di ba kids po talaga parang nag-e-explore talaga sila, nag-e-experiment. Yung mga paggawa-gawa, yung pinakita po kanina, yung parang nagbabahay-bahayan siya. So doon parang gumagana yung yung pag-trial and error kumbaga kasi pag tinayo niya yung house, matutumba. Parang ganon. Kailangan may certain balance yan. So yun na po yung isa sa madedevelop ngayon. Isa sa skill na madedevelop niya sa pagbahay-bahayan na yan. Kung pinigilan ko siya, hindi niya matututunan.
Pero may bentahe si Olivia Juanchara. Konsentidor yung tatay.
Ay, naku.
Co-conspirator pala ng anak mo ang tatay. Sige. Pero ang isang ikinatuwa ko dun sa mga video na ginawa yung tinuturuan mo siya magbasa, no? Yung reading lessons, no? Merong isa na I hope we can show the video of that quickly. Yung learning phonics. Alam mo, nung nakita ko yun, I was trying to remember, ganun ba ang turo sa akin? Hindi ko na maalala eh. Yan, ito yung ano. I don't know if we can show the audio or can share the audio, no? Anong
San. Pag tinuro natin sa kanila, na. Ang basa nito, na. Yun ang matututo nila. Pero dapat, sun. Sun.
O yun, hindi ko alam yun. Ganun pala yun?
Actually po, parang ano lang din ako sermon eh. Parang nagbasa-basa lang din po ako kung ano nga ba ang parang best way to teach kids. Kasi napansin ko sermon, 1.5 years old, nakakabasa na yung anak ko ng libro. Pero hindi pala niya talaga nababasa sermon. Kumbaga, nare-recognize lang niya yung words. Kasi parang kabisado na po niya kasi paulit-ulit ko binabasa sa kanya eh. So, kumbaga alam niya information. Halimbawa, yung with. So, alam niya yung information ng word na ganun. Pero pag binigyan ko siya ng something new na word, hindi na niya alam basahin. Kasi wala dun sa libro. Yun, unlike po pag phonics, matututo siya na i-blend yung words, kagaya po nun. So, yung mga bagong words na i-introduce sa kanya, mababasa pa rin po niya. And kahit po yung more complicated na words, halimbawa, mag-grade 1 na siya, grade school na siya, yung more complicated words, mababasa po niya kasi nga, alam po niya ito basahin phonically. Kasi po, di ba, parang 80%, if I'm not wrong po, if memory serves right, 80% of the words from the English language is parang binabasa phonically, yung ganun po, yung parang i-blend-blend mo lang siya. Parang ilang 20% lang po ata yung mga may silent, yung mga ganun.
Pero iba, paano naman ang Tagalog o Cebuano, di ba? Tayo ay, sige, sorry.
Ay, it's okay po. Tinuturuan ko rin po siya ng Filipino. Sermon, mali ko dati na hindi ko siya tinuruan ng Filipino. Pero ngayon, marunong na siya at marunong na rin po siya mag-Ilonggo. Kasi Ilonggo po ang industry. Opo.
Okay. Ay, maganda. Kasi alam mo, sa dami ng mga lingwahe dito sa Pilipinas, parang kulang-kulang ka kung isa lang ang alam mo, kung Tagalog lang, halimbawa, di ba? Dapat marunong ka mag-Bisaya, o mag-Cebuano, o Hiligaynon, o mas maganda yung gano'n na multilingual, di ba? Mas maganda multilingual. Pero isa pang nagustuhan ko dun sa video, ito, gusto ko sana tanongin kita, I hope we can show the video. Tinuturuan mo siya kung paano mag-form ng sentences na gumagamit ng mga iba't ibang salita. Can we show the video? Yeah, ito. Yan. Yan, no? Ako nagulat dito eh. Alam niya kung paano basahin yung mga salita.
Opo.
Tapos, sige, go ahead, sige.
No, sige po.
No, alam niya kung basahin. The word he, no? Pero, nabubuo niya din yung sentence mula dyan sa mga hiwa-hiwalay na salitang yan?
Opo, Sir Bon. Yung pagbabasa naman po na, dyan po babalik yung sa phonics kanina, yung pagbabasa ng words na hindi pa na-introduce sa kanya, kagaya niyang scared na yan. First time ko ata i-introduce sa kanya yung word na yan, pero nabasa niya po. So, yun yung tulong po pag tinuruan natin ang mga bata through phonics. Now, yan po kasi, sinasabi ko sa kanya, you have to fix the sentence. So, yung sentence, sasabihin ko po yung tamang sentence. So, siya na po bahalang mag-arrange nun. Yan. Opo.
Pero ginugulo mo muna yung mga salita, tapos dapat iayos niya yung sequence ng mga salita. Ganon. Diba?
Opo. Tama po, sir. Kasi ako po, mas gusto ko po talaga yung parang hands-on activity, yung ganyan po talaga. Nabasa ko nga po, Sir Mo, na yung isang article niyo with your grandchildren is parang nililimit niyo na ang kanilang pag-YouTube.
Well, kasi ang nabasa ko noon, wala kung totoo pa ngayon, no? Halimbawa, there are scientific studies daw that show na kung, anong tawag nito? Kung gumagamit ka ng sulat, kung sumusulat ka, nare-retain ng brain mo. Yung typing, wala pang scientific study shows na nare-retain mo ng brain mo eh. Kaya, yung analog o manual, hindi digital, mas mabisa pa rin. Ganun ba na?
Actually, Sir Mon, parang nabasa ko yan noon way back in high school or college ata. Kaya po, dati, ang ginagawa ko sa reviewer, sinusulat ko talaga. Kasi nga po, parang tama, mas naaalala ko nga kapag sinusulat siya.
Okay. Sige. Nako, last question na kasi we have to take a break, no? Then we'll bring you back later on, Shara, for the question and answer. Anong epekto ng COVID? Ito mga lockdown, no? So, paano ngayon yung mga bata? Paano yung mga pamilya, nanay at saka tatay? Anong masasabi mo doon?
Yes, actually, Sir Mon, my husband and I just recovered from COVID. Nag-positive kami noong April, yeah. Pero, opo, yan. Pero, Sir Mon, we are very keen now when it comes to cleanliness talaga sa pagpapalakas ng katawan. So, yun. Pero, when it comes to my kid po, kay Olivia, sabi nga namin, ang daming ninakaw ng COVID sa mga bata talaga. Like, yung experiences talaga, parang hindi sila pakabata kasi hindi sila makalabas, di ba po? Di ba? Kids talaga, they play with their friends. Dapat lumalabas sila para ma-explore yung mundo. Yan, but ginagawa na lang po namin is gumagawa kami ng ibang activities and ine-explain po namin sa kanya, alam niya kung bakit hindi siya makalabas. Sinasabi niya nga gusto na daw niyang umalis. Sabi niya, Mommy, when there's no COVID na, ha? Nakakaawa, Sir Mon. Nakakaawa po. Kaya nga sabi ko, oo anak, let's pray na mawala na nga. Ayun, marami pa rin naman pong, marami pang paraan para ma-explore ng mga bata yung mundo. Kahit sa loob lang ng bahay, marami pa rin paraan para maturuan sila yun nga lang talaga, iba po kasi talaga yung actual interaction with the other kids, di ba? And even the face-to-face na schooling po, di ba?
Yes. Okay. Okay. Pero siguro pag-usapan natin yan mamaya when we come back no, later on for the question and answer. In the meantime, Shara, standby ka lang muna at mga kaibigan, huwag po kayong umalis. Babalik po ako kaagad. Okay? We'll be right back. Okay, back mga kaibigan. We're back here sa ating programang Teka Muna. We had a very nice conversation with Shara. Ngayon, meron tayong isa pang guest na isang mga interesanting mga kwento naman may bibigay sa atin ngayong gabi. Walang iba kundi si Mommy Renee Rose. Siya po ang co-founder ng Kana Oriental Beauty and Wellness. Good evening, Renee. Welcome to the program.
Hello, hi, how are you?
Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much, Renee, for joining us tonight. No?
Thank
First,
you for having me.
a little background about you, Renee. You came to the Philippines, 10, 11, 12 years ago?
About 10 years ago, yes.
Oh, okay, you came here to join a national beauty contest?
Yes, I was actually a former Miss Earth, Philippines.
Okay, so you came here and then you won and then you stayed.
Yes, I did. Actually, during my reign, I met my husband, who's now my
Oh.
husband. So, yes.
Okay, okay, wow. Well, you know, one trip and then you start off a series of events.
Right,
So-
right.
So you stayed here, you were a model for a while, but then later on you set up this business about health and wellness. Now, why did you make that shift?
Well, it wasn't actually a shift.
Mhm.
I've always been, wellness has always been a large part of my life. My mother is actually a kind of a witch doctor, I used to call her. She would, yeah, really,
Okay.
she like really never wanted us to take medicines. She didn't want to bring us to the doctor if we had a fever. She thought she could, and she could heal us just by preparing us food that was more nurturing or nutrient based and more nutritive. And she really took care of us in a really all natural type of way. It was always a part of my upbringing, and I always knew that I wanted to do something in the wellness field. Even during the Miss Earth contest, my advocacy was for organic skincare, which was really not a big thing 10 years ago.
Okay, now you mentioned it already, organic skincare. I don't know if we can bring up some photos of the business that you put up. Now here you are. You've got these are organic. Those are organic soap, no? And this one are what?
Yeah, it's a
Well,
toner,
wellness oils, right?
oils, right? Wellness oils.
Okay. Now you put up two shops, no? But you know what has happened since COVID came, Renee? I mean, have you had to really shift to go online to keep doing your business?
Yeah, of course. Actually, our business has always been online. There was an
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there always was an online presence, but when COVID happened, it made the online presence even more, integral to the business. And I actually run 8 businesses. So throughout those 8 businesses, all of them had to make a shift online. It was really about building social media, connecting to the customers when we're kind of so far away, we can't actually make these interactions in person. So online Online lang.
So talagang online na yung negosyo mo yan, Renee, no? Okay. Sige. But the interesting thing about, I mean, to me anyway, was how did you develop these products? No, I mean, I understand na kayo mismo, you and your sister work on these
Yeah.
products. Can you tell us quickly, I mean, how did you, conceptualize and actually develop the product itself?
Sure. So my sister and I were big skincare people. The only problem 10 years ago, or actually when we put up Kana, the skincare brand, about 7 years ago, was that there wasn't a lot of natural skincare products on the market. So we weren't able to there was a void. And my sister is actually a scientist, and I myself am an herbalist. So we kind of put both of our
Mm.
knowledge together, her doing the
Oh,
formulations and I choosing the ingredients, and we made this brand. Yeah, we made our own skincare at first, actually. So it actually started with the hormone balancing oil, and I made it because I was really experiencing terrible hormonal acne during my pregnancy. And during a pregnancy, you can't use your regular acne medication that comes from the pharmacy. So yeah,
okay,
and
okay.
it was terrible. Acne, hormonal acne, when you can't control it, it's coming from inside the body. It's terrible, you know. And so I created the oil. I tried and tested it on myself and everything. I gave it to my friends who were experiencing the same, even teenagers who have hormonal acne from puberty. And it does wonders. We have amazing reviews about this product.
Okay, but what I found very interesting, Renee, was that in developing the product, you had to interview a lot of Asian women, not just Filipinos, but you went
Right.
around and you interviewed women mothers specifically
Yes.
from different Asian countries. How was that process like?
So at Kana, we have a saying in our office, and
Mm.
our saying is from the ends of Asia. So actually, my stepfather, we actually have a house in Turkey. So Turkey is considered the furthest opposite of Asia from Southeast Asia. Turkey is considered an Asian country, half Asia, half Europe. So
Yeah.
our
Hmm.
house actually is on the side of Asia. And if you go, when we went to Turkey and you go around, and I talked to my stepfather's sisters and his aunts and his elder relatives, these women are beautiful. I mean, not just beautiful, but they're so robust. They're so lively. They're so matapang pa. So even in older age. And we
Oh.
wanted to create a brand that was really a beauty brand, but it was centered around this Asian, this mysterious Asian kind of culture. Because my sister and I are from the States, and anything about the East is wow, like what's going on over there? We want that.
Hmm.
Turkish
Hmm.
women are beautiful. All women are beautiful in their own types of cultures, but especially in Asia, from Turkey to China to the Philippines to Japan, we all have our sorts of nicks and knacks, our parang tricks that we use for beauty, right? So we wanted
Uh-huh.
to combine all of these things together and bring a brand to the world, basically, that embodied what Asian women were doing in order to, stay young, fresh, and robust and matapang.
Well, well, I like the matapang part because I can see that. But I noticed that you spent a lot of time studying teas, cha,
Yes.
and you found that this was really something very prevalent in different Asian cultures.
Yes.
What kind of insights did you get from talking with the different Asian women about this particular subject?
So actually, in almost tea is a very Asian product, and also a little bit European. But the general thing was when we talked to some of these older Chinese women from mainland China, we learned that green tea is a staple in their diet, and in some parts of China, actually white tea, which is really quite interesting. White tea has a really is used as a beauty staple for skincare as a toner. So it was really interesting to find that out. We went to Japan across the way, and apparently green tea has also been used in skincare for centuries. Going over to Turkey again, they use black tea as kind of a toner and astringent for their face. And so even in the Philippines, we drink a lot of tea. Filipinos love tea, and we know that it makes us feel better and it does something inside of us because herbals have benefits, right? So inside and outside, which is very interesting. So my sister and I were kind of, we wanted to use it in beauty products. We thought that there was such a void where not a lot of brands were using tea in their beauty products.
Well, speaking of tea,
Good. Yeah. What kind of tea is that?
well, this one right now drinking chamomile.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Very nice. Right
Okay.
before bedtime. Perfect.
Okay. But you mentioned earlier, Renee, that your mother was herself, a non-traditional, or rather, no, I'm sorry, has very traditional views about health and wellness. What new insights did you get when you came over here and started talking also with all of these Asian women? Did this, nag-jive ba yung experience ng nanay mo at saka experience nito mga nanay dito sa Asia?
Yes, that's really interesting. It's an interesting question. My mother actually is a home birther of 7 kids. So in turn, I also home birthed one of my kids and water birthed 2 of them. So when we came here into Asia, there's a real gap at the moment between our original traditions. My mom actually is from Tarlac. She's Kapampangan. So
Okay.
yeah, so even in Turkey and Japan, in some parts of Japan or China, when you go there and you speak to the older generations, there's a real gap between what it was tradition and what was normal to what is normal today. So it's interesting that you say tradition and where it intercepts, because I feel like there's still a gap in a lot of areas and of lifestyle. There's still a gap on how mothers should be birthing their children, how we should be eating, we should be feeding our families, what we should be eating, what we should be putting on our skin, and the disinfectants we use in our home. And traditionally, is a way I like to incorporate in my life. It's a base in my life. But my sister is also a scientist, and I also have studied biomed. So I do understand, the need for science and tradition to kind of intermingle. But it's interesting that you say that, because I do still think that there was still just such a large gap, and connecting that gap.
Well, it is true, Renee, that, before Western medicine came around, home birthing was the standard.
Right, exactly.
Okay. But, let me ask you, I mean, having done home birthing yourself, particularly water birthing, that one I'm not familiar with. How was it to water birth your child? How was it for you? How was it for the kid?
Okay, so, well, actually, I have 3 children. My first one was birthed normally in the hospital. So it was a hospital birth. You're just general type of procedure. I had a really terrible time. I had postpartum depression. All my hormones were out of whack. I didn't feel normal, and it was a very hard time for me to recover. And so
You're talking about Luca here, right?
yes, my
Your
son was the first one.
okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second time around, when I got pregnant, it wasn't until the last month of my pregnancy where I was just like, you know what? I think I'm having anxiety attacks of, having to go to the hospital and birth. And I called my mother and I said, Mom, I don't think this is normal. And my mom said, I birthed all of you at home. And and all my sisters, all her sisters, all of my cousins, all of them were birthed at home. And I have friends who actually have been birthed at home or have been doing water births. So I found out that St. Luke's at the time had this beautiful birthing suite, water birthing suite.
Oh,
And it's so
okay.
beautiful. It was just, actually, I was so shocked to find out that there were so many doctors available in the Philippines who will provide you with these beautiful, gentle births in a hospital setting where you are safe, And so I did that the first time, and it was like the best thing ever. It was just the most amazing experience. And then fast forward to last year in August, I gave birth to my youngest. The problem with that was water birthing was suspended in the hospitals because of the COVID situation.
That's
And
right. That's
I was
right.
always
Uh-huh.
the mom who was like, I'm never going to give birth at home. I'm just like, it just has to be a
Mhm.
water birth in the hospital. So I'm left with this like option to not water birth in the hospital or to do a home birth. And luckily, there's a beautiful doula here, Russian doula actually, Irina. A lot of mommies watching this probably have heard of her already,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
she's just the mommy you need like during a home birth. And so she was there for me, her and her team. And actually, my baby was in the wrong position, which
Oh,
yeah, which
oh.
was really unfortunate. So at one moment in the home birthing situation, my midwife looked at me and she said,
Mm.
if this baby doesn't come out, we have to go to the hospital.
Yes.
You have your
Mm.
hospital bag ready and everything, right? And
Mm.
I was like, no, I didn't think I would need to go to the hospital. So
Well, okay, so what
yeah,
happened?
yeah, so my doula, she looked at me. She's just like, really strong. She's home birthed 3 of her kids, and she's this really strong Russian, and she's just tower over me, and she's saying, Renee, you can do this. Push this baby out right now. So, I just took everything in me, and I got her out, even if she was the wrong way. And it took a lot out of me, but it was very empowering. Yeah. Also very dangerous,
Okay.
but
Well, you know how it is. The more difficult it is, once you get it done, then it's a much more satisfying result, right?
I totally agree. Yeah.
Well, that is child number three. That must be Aurora. Is that correct?
Aurora, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So the second child was Holiday.
Holiday, yeah. We just call her Holly.
Holly.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, as you mentioned earlier, Renee, and you were saying that wellness isn't just a business for you.
Right.
It's really part of your ethos, the way you live your life. No,
Right.
how is it? How did your husband adopt and react to this whole culture that you bring into your married life and into your family?
I really am a believer that people will find their soulmates. And my husband,
Hmm.
yeah, my husband, he's Filipino. He was raised here. He's just a normal person.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
it was so interesting because when we started our relationship and as we got to know each other, him and I both don't like to take medication when we're sick. Like we like to fight it naturally. He would always go for alternatives, which would be like turmeric or ginger to help inflammation or a fever or a cold. And you know, uh, he's he actually he's recovering downstairs from a torn Achilles. He just had surgery 5 days ago, and
Hmm.
he's been taking a lot of herbs. And he was actually at the therapy session this morning, and I had brought him, and the doctor was so shocked that he was walking completely well, no pain, no anything. And we were just joking around saying, it's all the herbs we take. So he's very much into natural alternative medicine as well.
Okay, then. Okay, so this is it's His name is Rafa, right?
Raphael, yeah, Rafa, we call him, yeah.
Okay. But how do the kids take all of this, Renee? Do you also culture them into, this is the way we live your life, etc., etc.? How do they take to it?
Oh yeah, well, I think when kids are being raised a certain way, just as the previous speaker was sharing with us about, like how she raises her child. I think that when you raise them a certain way, it's their norm, right? So as
Hmm.
my mother raised me, that was my norm. I never really thought of um, anything else as oh, that should be that, it should be that way, and this is just different. But my
Hmm.
my children, it's a funny story because our pedia here is a naturopathic practitioner. She's a herbal medicine doctor, and which is what I'm studying at the moment as well. And it's funny because people will come over and my kids will have a 40-degree fever or 39-degree fever, and they have never, knock on wood, but they have never in their life had taken a fever reducer like Calpo or something like that, or a paracetamol. We just don't carry it in our house. And we give them and we supplement them with herbs and herbal tinctures, and natural medicine. So that's how, we deal with it. My kids, sometimes if they have a fever around 38, pushing 39, they'll still be running around and playing, just as I was when I was younger, because it is just something that the body is used to, So it's kind of just like they're normal, and they're just kids. So I guess when they grow up, my son, he always says, Mom, when I grow up, I want to be a herbal doctor too. So we'll see.
Oh, starting very young. Okay, but speaking of that, we're gonna take a break in a few minutes, Renee. But quick question before we do that: what do you tell your friends or people that you meet? How do you introduce this whole mentality of a different concept of wellness? And how can they start? How do you advise them to do that?
Oh, well, I usually don't bring it up in conversation because it's a very touchy subject. But if my friends are asking, which a lot of them do, actually a lot of my friends are clients or my patients, they will ask, the first thing I'll tell them to do is increase fiber. So number one, increase fiber. You could do it with your diet, or I would recommend taking a fiber supplement, which is great also. It helps on all multitudes of life. It cleans out your body.
Okay.
Second, I would start with lifestyle, because as Hippocrates said, I can fix, or I can give a person medicine, but if they are still going to live their crappy lifestyle, they are still going to manifest this disease. So first, I really work with their lifestyle.
Okay. I can buy that. By the way, I'm a regular consumer of turmeric tea.
Oh, good. It's good for inflammation.
And I also take VCO as well.
That's very good. Yes, it's good.
Okay, now, Renee, we're going to take a break and we'll bring both of you back and we'll start taking questions from our viewers. In the meantime, mga kaibigan, wag po kayong umalis. Babalik po kami in a short while. Welcome back, mga kaibigan, and we'll continue our discussions with our two very interesting mommies now who are guests tonight. No? Iba-ibang estilo, iba-ibang style, but all very colorful and all very interesting. Let's bring them both back on. Shara and Renee, please come on. Okay, welcome back.
Hi.
Okay, we've got a couple of questions already that have come in. Let me start with a general one, which either of you can respond to. No, this one is from Rona Santos. Ano pong tingin ninyo sa mga parents na iniiwanan lang ang kanilang anak sa iPad o sa mga smartphones? Translation, what do you think of parents who just leave their kids with their smartphones or iPads? Who wants to take it first? Okay, Shara, ikaw muna.
Okay. Kagaya po na nabanggit ko kanina, iniiwasan po talaga namin yung gadgets. I just want more, we do more hands-on activities. Pwede naman po mag-gadgets, pero as much as possible, 30 minutes lang talaga, maximum a day, or wala talaga at all. Mahirap po kasi naman, mahirap din kasi i-condemn na bakit mo iniiwan yung binihaya mag-babysit ng YouTube or gadgets yung anak mo kasi 'di ba parang sometimes po parang kailangan din magpahinga ng nanay. Pwede naman po siguro pero may limitation lang po talaga up to siguro lalo na pag mga younger kids kasi mine is 4 na po kaya I allow her 30 minutes a day or none at all po. Pero siguro for younger kids, dapat talaga mas controlled po. That's for me po.
Okay, fair enough, Shara. And Renee, your own view?
Oh gosh. Well, actually, my son, he's 5, going to be 6. It's an interesting. He actually was diagnosed with a severe speech delay, and the only thing that got him speaking was his iPad. So he's actually right now going to be game streaming on YouTube because actually the games help to bring out his vocal expressions. So it's interesting. I let him do that a few hours actually a day because it really helps with his speech development. But I think, to each their own. I'm not actually the expert.
Okay. Well, it shows you there isn't one single answer to the question. No, so sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Okay,
Right.
good point. Thank you for that. Now here's a question from okay, a very traditional question here from Paolo Viray. Uso pa ba sa pamilya ngayong panahon na ang lalaki dapat magtrabaho tapos yung babae ay yung nag-aalaga sa pamilya? Translation, quick translation. Is it still the practice that it's a husband who works and it's the mother who takes care of the kids? Okay, let's start with you, Renee.
Oh gosh, no, absolutely no.
Okay.
I'm the first one to be honest. I have three house helps or nannies, as you would say, because between my husband and I, we both run about 27 businesses. So both of us love to work. It's who we are. I would love to sit and play with my children all day long, but I don't feel like that's fair. I mean, putting my husband aside, it's not fair to me because I know what type of spirit I have, and my spirit is a working spirit. So, happy Mother's Day to all our sa mga yaya.
Okay. So, in your case, Shara, how do you handle that question?
Yes, sa panahon po ngayon talaga, may iba-iba na po talaga So, meron na talagang stay-at-home dad and talagang saludo po kami sa mga stay-at-home dads and same goes to stay-at-home moms. Now, kami naman po kasi ng husband ko ay pareho kaming nag-work from home and we take turns po. So, kagaya po nabagit ko kanina sa sermon, siya ang naglalaba. So, yun po, we take turns talaga. So, minsan, pag pagod na siya, ako muna. Pag pagod na ako, siya naman.
Sige, for your information, Shara, marunong din ako maglaba. Okay,
Wow!
anyway. Okay, here's a question for you, Shara, from Sam Cruz. Ano pong pwedeng tips para sa mga parents na sinusubukang turuan ang anak pero hindi nila agad nakukuha yung gustong outcome? Kumbaga, oops, not the first time, maybe not the second time. So, anong ginagawa mo dyan? Sa ganong situation, Shara?
Yeah, for me po sa amin kasi, ang na-observe ko po kasi is, kailangan hanapin natin yung nasa mood yung anak natin. Kasi kung wala sila sa mood mag-aral, halimbawa, inaantok sila, or pagod na, or gutom, or nasa playing mode sila, parang wala talaga silang, kumaga wala sila sa focus, makinig sa atin, di ba? So, it won't work. Ngayon, try po natin mamaya, or kinabukasan, di ba? Kung kailan sila nasa mood. Next po is, kung hindi po ngayon na kung tinuturuan natin sila ngayon, we don't expect po na parang makukuha nila agad yon kasi although matatalino po talaga mga bata, yung utak nila ay parang sponge, talagang mabilis mag-absorb mag-absorb ng information. Pero iba-iba po kasi talaga ang mga bata. So kung hindi ngayon, wag po tayo mag-doubt sa kakayanan ng mga anak natin. Repetitive po yan di ba, ang pag-aaral. And one more tip po is let's make it fun for kids kasi kids learn best through play. Ito po mga halimbawa gusto natin silang turuan ng mga math. Maggawa tayo ng mga colorful na parang yung mga ginagamit for crafts, yung mga bilog-bilog. So, pwede po tayo na mag-start para turuan sila ng concept ng numbers and of course, hindi lang talaga yung numbers itself para kumbaga ma-distinguish yung numbers. So, halimbawa, pag 1, isang piraso lang nun. So, yun po kasi mas importante, parang talagang na-absorb nila yun and it's fun for them.
Okay, well, nothing beats playing. Okay, sige. I have here a question for you, Renee, and it's got to be you, from Shaina Santos. Hindi po ba mahirap ang pagwa-water birth, lalo na kung first-time mom? It's harder for first-time moms. What do you say to that, Renee?
Oh, absolutely not. I had many friends. Their first babies were water births, and you would be surprised. I have one friend. She water birthed her child. She basically the baby just came out. She's her first baby, and it was a pretty big baby. It's not about water birth versus C-section versus a normal delivery in a hospital. It's really about the health of the mom, the capabilities of the mom and the baby, the position of the baby. So, a water birth could be easy and it definitely could be hard. So, it's the same kind of with all types of births.
Okay. I'm going to try to, we're running out of time. I'm going to try to squeeze in the questions. No? From Karina David, this one is for you, Mommy. Paano nyo ba nahahandle yung anxiety ng mga bata na hindi po sila nakakalabas at nakakapaglaro kasama ang mga kaibigan?
Kanino po? Sa akin. Okay. Sorry, I'll make it quick po. Nung kakasimula ng lockdown last year, parang na-observe po namin na parang nagka-anxiety anak namin kasi she's very outgoing, sanay siyang lumabas. Dati ho, pag nag-work kami, talagang bit namin siya. Ngayon, bigla ho nagbago yung mundo. All of a sudden, napansin namin na iba na yung pag-handle niya ng emotions siya. So, subukan po nating alalayan yung mga anak natin. We have to understand their situation na minsan talaga may pabago-bagong kagaya, may nakausap akong psychologist before na may bago sa behavior nila, like magngangat-ngat ng kuko, or yun nga po, hindi nila ma-handle yung feelings nila. So, we have to help them and we have to explain to them the situation. And ayun nga po, alalayan sila sa pag-handle ng anxiety sila and feelings.
What are the usual signs of anxiety that you notice, Shara, from your experience or observation of other people?
Inaano niya po yung, kinakamot niya po yung ulo niya. Ginaganon niya. Parang ginaganon niya po. Yan.
Okay.
The psychologist said na parang pag may something nakakaiba na parang sa movements or sa characteristics po, yun na daw parang one sign na yun. Like yun po, pag nangat-ngat ng kuko, yun.
You want to add something to that, Renee?
Oh, actually, yeah. For kids that my son actually he will start scratching areas of his body like his knees. Really with the scratching because I think it's something about having to fidget their fingers all the time. It's kind of like releasing the anxiety. My daughter also, she'll start scratching the top of her hand.
Okay. The last question goes to you, Renee. I think we're really out of time. It's a question from, whoops, there goes my tablet. Okay, wait a minute. From Shaina Santos, I'm sorry, from Ana Reyes. How do you fit all the things that you're doing into your time?
I get this question all the time.
27 businesses.
One of my businesses is called Meta Wellness, and we have this best-selling Moms Building Businesses workshop where we do it online via Zoom, my partner and I. And people ask us this all the time, time management for mommies. If I can do it everybody can do it. And there's just so many things. Number one, see if you can have people around the house help you with your children. If you're a mommy, ask maybe your relatives, your friends, your family. If you have a house help, ask them if they can just take a few hours out of the day to watch the child so you can get some stuff done. Like I said, happy Mother's Day to sa mga yaya natin kasi they really help me throughout the day, and that's hands down my God honest truth. Other than that, I prioritize. And it's just about making priorities.
Okay, thank you very much, Renee. Quick question to you, Shara. How do you answer that question? One minute.
Oh my God, I'm not really good with handling everything gracefully. Mabilis po ako ma-stress, sermon. So I do list po. So chine-check ko po talaga yung literal kasi if I don't make a list, I tend to forget. So yeah, like what
Okay.
Renee said po, I ask help. Yeah, I ask help from my in-laws, from my husband, whenever I need them to take care of my kid. Yan po.
See, husbands have things to do too. Okay. Chara, Renee, maraming salamat. Thank you very much for joining us this evening and sharing your insights on how you take care of your families and yourselves. Maraming salamat. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you again. And maraming salamat po sa inyo mga kaibigan. Thank you for joining us tonight. I hope na na-enjoy kayo at you must celebrate your Mother's Day tomorrow in the right way. Thank your mothers. Ang laki ng utang natin lahat. Buong sangkatauhan, malaking utang sa mga nanay nila. Maraming salamat puli sa ating mga panauhin at for our audience, thank you for joining us tonight. Laging tandaan, palaki ang pakinabang ng gadgets. Pero, teka muna, think before you click. Ako po ulit si Monis Berto, ang inyong tech tito. Magandang gabi po. Muli, dito, mula sa amin dito sa Tech ka muna at kami po, ang 1PH, teleserbisyo para sa Pilipino.